We're live. I hope we're live. Hey guys, welcome to my channel Glen. My name's Glenn and this is my review of Bitcoin for 2018. Today is New Year's Day, so it's a brand new fresh year, and I thought I'd just go over some of the key points of 2018, share them with you guys, see if you agree with me, disagree with me, with what some of the highlights and lowlights were of 2018. So going back even earlier that, obviously I was into crypto 2017, November, December, all great months. Bitcoin rose and rose and rose up to 20k, just under, and obviously I got involved at probably about I can't remember now, 4,000 to 6,000, I can't remember. And obviously it just went up and up and up and up, and then you sort of get a bit greedy, I suppose, you know, because you get sort of lured in by this Bitcoin and cryptocurrency payment methods and the future of online payments, and then you start to look into how cash works and how you know, governments operate and do certain things, and then you start going down that rabbit hole. And that was me in 2017. Then obviously 2018 here, you know, this Bitcoin started to drop a bit in price, but before, oh, it's just everyone cashing out for Christmas and Chinese New Year and all these sort of things. It's all right, it's going to go back up, it's going to go to 100k, 500k, 1 million. And yeah, that's just a year later, exactly a year later, we're still saying the same thing. So what is the main story of Bitcoin in 2018? It has to be, I say, the bear market that has pretty much gone on for exactly a year now. Now, when this started to happen, I've said this several times in a few of my videos, probably one of the first people, and I'm sorry about the wonky camera, I'm driving and it's on like a rubbish stand. One of the first people that came out and sort of said, look, you know, if this is going to continue previous trends, it's probably going to last for 2 years. And that was Richard Hart. And I remember talking about it, and I thought, look, he's a really clever guy, he knows what he's talking about, he's been in Bitcoin for years, he's gone through ups and downs, bear cycles, bull runs, and I shared it in my video. I said, you know, like, God, this guy's saying it could be a 2-year bear market. What do you guys think? And everyone was like, no way, it's not going to happen, you know, Bitcoin's just started. And so far he's right. We're sort of a year into it, and now everyone seems to be saying, look, nothing's really going to happen till mid next year. That's a year and a half, you know. It wouldn't be too unbelievable to believe that Bitcoin isn't going to go on a bull run till November again. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be exactly 2 years. If you look at the previous charts, previous history, you know, some of these bear markets have lasted 1 year, 6 months, 8 months, 2 years, and, you know, 3 months, stuff like that. So there's no exact science to it, otherwise, you know, everyone would be rich. But we're a year into it, so that's got to be the #1 talking point of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, because don't forget, a lot of the other altcoins out there are still pegged to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes on a bear run, or you know, whatever you want to call it, so do all the others. So this is the whole of cryptocurrency space. The main story, the main take from 2018 is really, it was a dip year. Obviously we had some rises and some dips in that, but generally it has continued to step down. It goes up, then down again, even further, creating new lows. So that's been the main take from it. Then I would say the second biggest story, it has to be, and I was even debating whether it should be #1, it has to be BitConnect. I love BitConnect. When I first got into cryptocurrency back in 2017, I noticed that every YouTuber that I was watching were all saying, oh, use my BitConnect code and you can gain 5% a day, and, you know, whatever the figures were. And I actually thought, God, this is really good, this is really clever, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then it weren't until I went to the BitConnect website. When I went to the website, I was like, this ain't right. For a company to be offering, you know, 2% return a day, surely their website should be better than this. It looked really scammy, and it turned out I was right. And I actually said from the beginning that I won't be promoting any sort of BitConnect, because I thought one day it's gonna crash. Just because I thought, oh, it looks like a scam, a Ponzi scheme, and it turned out to be right. So all the people that were involved in it, they have all gone away now. I think Trevon James is still doing videos or something like that. But yeah, that was probably the second biggest story of this year. Paige says, hey Glenn, how you doing, buddy? I'm good, thanks. I've been away over Christmas and New Year, so I'm pretty shattered, to be honest. I need an early night. So yeah, BitConnect has got to be the next big story in my eyes. Then in third place, you'd have to say it has to be the ICOs. You know, like I was saying, you go down this rabbit hole of cryptocurrency and you start to think, oh yeah, Bitcoin's the way of the future. It's got a scarcity to it, so it's going to go up in value. But then you think, oh, instead of waiting 3 or 4 years for that to happen, I could invest in an ICO right now and, you know, make loads of money right now. And obviously I got swept up in that as well, not lying about it. That is something that I was really skeptical about. The only ICOs that I was interested in were ones that mined for more Bitcoin. And that was literally my pure intention. If I'm going to invest in an ICO, I don't want more Ethereum. I want more Bitcoin. That's what I wanted. So I went down that route. There were several options. As you guys all know, I chose Envian. Turns out they did an exit scam. So, and they were one of the largest ICOs. They raised over 100 million, I believe. So, you know, it weren't like I was the odd one out invested in a dodgy one. Well, they were dodgy, but, you know... they fooled a lot of people. That's all I'm going to say. So really gutted about that. And it wasn't so much that I'd lost my own money in Envian, because in the end, I didn't actually suffer too badly, because as soon as they started bickering between themselves, the CEOs and all that, about who owns the rights to the tokens, I thought, this ain't right. And I'd done a video straight away. Bearing in mind, Envian hadn't exited at that point. I just knew the writing was on the wall for them to not give people what they promised. So I actually did a video saying Envian's a scam. I'm really sorry if anyone invested in it based on my videos. So yeah, that was a big blow as well. So that's probably the biggest story for me, one of them in 2018. So it's not doing too well. Bitcoin dropping in price, BitConnect, Envian, scams. So a lot of scams. So really, that's the only one that I've sort of faltered on, really, is the Envian. Then obviously I tried mining myself, as a lot of other people did. Bitmain, again, they've got to be a big talking point for 2018. They actually had the largest amount of hash rate of anyone in the whole world. They, you know, they could have really dominated they could have destroyed any particular coin whenever they wanted, but they chose to actually support Bitcoin Cash, which doesn't seem like a good bet right now, as apparently the company is really struggling. Bitcoin Cash has really dropped in price dramatically. Was it $4 grand, I think, was the highest it went to. Now it's at, like, last time I checked, $130 or $150, can't remember. So yeah, they've done really bad. So it just goes to show, even when you're you know, one of the biggest players in the game, you know, it's hard to say, right, this is the defining way to go. This is definitely the thing to do. So that's what I took from last year, 2018, is that not anyone has it right. Not one person. You can't, no matter what YouTube videos you watch or anyone who says you should invest in this, you should do that, I'd be very wary of that type of person. The only thing that I could probably say is I wish I invested in Bitcoin and held on. But even that, when I look back on that, you'll see a lot of people that are Bitcoin maximalists, and they will say things like, oh, just buy Bitcoin and hodl and just hold on for dear life and all that. But you got to say, has that been a good option this year or last year? Probably not. If you'd bought exactly this time last year, you would have paid well over 12 grand for a Bitcoin, because it started dropping from, say, 18, 19 grand down. So even if you got in at 12k, you've still lost 70% of your value, where we're at today of $3,700. So, you know, it's there's no right answer. We're seeing a lot of ICOs now exiting, which is good. I think that we should get rid of a lot of the clutter and a lot of the shit. I would like to see more regulation on Bitcoin or any of them, actually, like because then people will only want to get involved in the ones that have passed the law's eyes and the government's eyes, which is a bit odd, because obviously cryptocurrencies was meant to be anti-government, anti-banks, anti-regulation, but now obviously you've got to say that it's all well and good doing that, but you're creating an environment where scam artists can thrive and thrive freely. So that's another big take from 2018. Paige says, I got into Bitcoin when it was 2,500, so he's still up. Happy days. So yeah, I've actually cashed out all of my Bitcoin when it was at $7,000. So, you know, I feel, again, quite happy with that. I've been quite, I wouldn't say lucky, but you know, I've been quite calculating this year, and I seem to be more and more confident with my predictions or how I feel the market's going. Now, I'm not saying I can predict the price, no way, I don't think anyone can. But the general mood for cryptocurrency as a whole, obviously with the help of the Telegram group chat, which if you want to be a part of, the link is down below. There's a load of guys in there and we all just chat crypto. But just from the mood that, you know, that I notice mood swings. Something will come out, some news, and everyone will be really excited in the group chat, and that is reflected in the price. All of a sudden Bitcoin will start going up in price, and then when the guys start being negative, oh, this is this, and oh, I'm going to sell out all my miners and stuff like that, you know, you see the price of Bitcoin going down. So that's quite a good indicator, actually. Even though there's about 200 of us in there, you can just feel the mood from one day to the next of what the guys are talking about. So that's quite a good indicator. Also, how many people are searching for Bitcoin on YouTube and Google, and also obviously news stories. All of a sudden the media will just be really positive one day they'll be negative. That's something else that I've learned in 2018, is to go pretty much with the opposite of whatever the media are saying. If the media are saying, oh, this is Bitcoin's month, it's going to go on a massive rally, then cash out. If they say it's dead, buy back in. You know, so that, again, that's something that I've learned. Bitcoin will explode in 2 years. I don't think there is. I used to think that there was a set time on it, but I don't think it is now. I honestly feel like we need some sort of regulation in the space. So people that are watching this video now, you must be quite into cryptocurrency to still be watching cryptocurrency type content during a bear market. So this doesn't apply to you and me watching this video. But people like my next door neighbours, my nan and granddad and stuff like that, for them to get involved in Bitcoin, it would have to be regulated and recommended to them by some sort of financial advisor. Now, financial advisors won't do that because obviously it's an unregulated space. So I feel like that needs to happen before the masses can get involved or will want to get involved, because at this, you know, I talk to people now and even my friends, and they're like, Glenn, you still doing that Bitcoin thing? Ain't it all scam? You know, I've heard that probably 5 or 6 times over this Christmas holiday. Ain't Bitcoin a scam? You know, I've heard that a lot. And I say, no, you've got it mixed up. There are some scams out there. Yeah, no, I'm not interested, you know. But I bet as soon as the price starts going up, they'll be interested again. So we'll see about that. So that's going forward into 2019. My plan is to accumulate. A random gamer dude says, hey, how you doing, mate? I hope you had a good Christmas and New Year. My plan is to literally just accumulate as much Bitcoin as I can within the next, I would say, 6 months to 12 months, as much as I can, because obviously I believe once this happens, which I do think it will take a couple of years at least, I think it will go on a massive bull run and I'll benefit, reap the rewards then. I've pretty much not become a Bitcoin maximalist, because that's wrong for me to say. I would easily cash out Bitcoin. And this brings me on to another topic, something else that I've learned in 2018. You need to know when to cash out. This mentality of a Bitcoin maximalist. If you was to gain something and you knew if you was to give it away, you may never ever get it back, then yeah, I understand that philosophy. But you can just buy Bitcoin in and out as and when you want. You can even mine the thing when you want, 24/7. When I got involved in Bitcoin, because I had this notion of just hodling as much as possible drummed into me by YouTube and articles and people chatting, I found it really, really hard to cash out. Like, emotionally, I felt very stressed about thinking about cashing out my Bitcoin. Don't know why. Now I think about it, it sounds really stupid. But when I was looking at cashing out Bitcoin, I was like, oh no, I need, well, what if it goes on a bull run? What if, oh no, I can't, you know, what will everyone think on my YouTube channel? They'll think I'm just exiting and all that, which isn't the case. I think you do need to know, actually, you know, Bitcoin is quite, swings quite a lot in price. So tomorrow it could be 5k. At the moment it's 3.5k. You know, if depending on how good you are at trading, I'd be happy to buy at this price, sell at 5.5k, 6k, whatever. It's doubling your money. And then if it keeps going on a bull run, well, you just buy back in when you feel it's at the top, or when it dips, you just wait for the next dip. And then obviously when it goes up again, cash out again. And if you keep doing that over a long period of time, you'll be up on your investment, probably more so than just to hold on, unless you cash out during a bull run, but then you're cashing out. So this whole notion of just hodling and holding on, I think you do need to be careful with that. And people that say that, it's not very good financial advice. It's like someone saying, just buy Apple stock and hold, you know, hodl for dear life. You know, it's at some point it's going to go down in price. At some point it's going to go up. You have to do what's right for you and what you feel comfortable with, and you know, you're not going to get it right all the time. I might cash Bitcoin out one day and then it continues to increase in value, 3-4 grand, and I'll think, fuck, why didn't I cash out a little bit later? But that's just being greedy, you know. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Just be careful out there. There's still a lot of scams, believe it or not. There's still ICOs out there. I'm still getting messages on my YouTube saying, Glenn, will you promote this, will you promote that? And I've said no to all of them. I'm not interested in promoting anything now unless I really believed in something, which at the minute I don't. So hence why you've never heard me talk about any other ICOs or projects coming up. that's really it for me, guys. I don't want to do a too long of videos, coming up for 20 minutes. I want to try and restrict my videos down now so that they're smaller and easier to digest for people. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also if you're new to the channel, click subscribe. You know, it'd be nice to have a decent amount of subscribers for when we go on our next bull run, so then I can say, look, we were here during the tough times. But that's really it from me, guys. Give us a message. You can join the Telegram group chat and chat to us all privately, or just comment on the video down below what you'd like me to talk about in my next video, and I'll try and do another live video. As I said a couple of weeks ago, I actually sold my iMac because it was on finance, and I had to get rid of it before I sort of applied for mortgage purposes. So yeah, at the minute, unfortunately, my content is going to have to be like this, just on a phone, unless I can find a way of editing videos on an iPad. But I can't imagine that's going to be too good. So yeah, that's it from me. I'll see you guys in a couple of days' time. Stay safe. Have a good New Year. Hope you've all enjoyed your Christmas, and I'll see you guys from the next video from myself. Bye, guys.